Welcome to Balance and Build, guys. Um, I am Ugoma. In case you don't know me, I'm Ugoma, Vice President of NALV's Unila chapter, and I'm also the chairperson of the NALV's Academic Committee. And yes, I will be your moderator for today. Before we dive in, I just want us to do like a quick housekeeping thing. Make sure your camera is turned off. Make sure your mic is muted. And please let's make very good use of our reactions. Like I want to see the reactions because I can't hear you. So I want to know that you're following me, right? Thank you so much. Especially when our speakers are speaking, let's use the flowers, the celebration, the art, everything. Let's use it. So, and also feel free to drop your comments in the chat anytime. Let's not be shy. We are here to get help, serious help that we need, guys. And yeah, if you have questions, drop them in the chat box as well, because we'll be taking some questions during our Q&A session later. So we're going to be moving quickly to an icebreaker and our icebreaker session, right? So very quickly, please go to your browsers and type in menti.com. As you can see on your screen, type in menti.com and enter the code 25399391. Please let me know when you've done that. I'm also going to be doing that as well. Every single thing we are doing here, I'm going to be doing it. So menti.com and enter in the code. Let me know when you've done it. Like, give me a thumbs up when you've done it. 25399391. Okay, so please, we are going to be creating a word cloud today. Yes, we're going to be creating a word cloud today. Let me share the Mentimeter screen. Give me a second. Yes, people can see my screen. So please go to your browser and type in a word that best describes your experience as a building student so far. I want to see like the words popping up. Let me type my own. Hey. Give me a second. I can't see anything yet. Terrible. Oh my day. Somebody said terrible. God, I beg go. Bad. Why now? Jesus is Lord. If please, you people know positive. I think I'm going to be like the first positive. It is. Somebody said it is shake your bow. I said God, I can relate like mad. Okay, let me type. Chaotic. I don't like you don't like the bow. You're so fun. Oh, thank you. Well, you guys, that's way beside the point. Disappointing. I'm so sorry. Terrible. God is really good. Like he's amazing. I'm mad. We'll go shut up. But yeah, I like. Are we having like more? I think you can submit like responses multiple times. Someone said shaggy. Like no, nothing good. The only thing I'm seeing here is we'll meet on TikTok. How? Like good. Thank you. Who said good? Thank you so much for that. 30 more seconds. I don't like it. I'm so sorry you don't like it. Hopefully, after today's session, we will like building a bit more. Tough. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Is that all? Should we move on to the next thing? I think I need to take a screenshot of terrible. Let me take a screenshot of this screen, no, and then I'll share it on the group chat so everyone can see. Okay, so I think we can. When is the giveaway? I think you just have to wait till like the end of the session to see. Like pockets draining. What are you using money to do? Okay, like projects and all that. I'm so sorry. Somebody told us video was going to be like this, so you guys is well. May God help us. Okay, so I think we can move on to the next thing on our agenda. If nobody else has anything to say, give me a second. Okay, so so the next thing, let me share my slide once again. Give me a second to guide. Okay. Okay, so moving on to the next thing on our agenda. And you guys, I'm sure most of you are wondering, why are we here? What is even the essence of this balance and build that we are even doing? So I'm going to give us a little backstory. Before we go again, please give me like reactions. I always want to confirm that I'm not speaking to myself. Thank you so much, our welfare sec. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, Jalil. Thank you, Khalid. Oh my days. Okay, so why are we here? The big question. So a little backstory here. When I was running for vice president, one of the biggest things in my manifesto, or to me at least, was mental wellness, right? And it was something I genuinely needed to address because I've lived it and I've experienced it. And 300 level was one of my toughest years. There was the pressure to do well, the constant deadlines, the comparison, always feeling like I wasn't doing enough. And like no matter how hard I worked, I just felt like I wasn't doing enough, right? And then I thought, cannot be only me. Like, cannot be only me that's feeling like this. And turns out I wasn't. Some of us on the executive team, we had the same goal. We all wanted to do something about the students' mental health. And we also realized that it is not just a building thing, right? Research shows that university students are twice as likely to experience anxiety and depression compared to the general population. So if you're struggling, it's not because you're weak, or it's not because you cannot handle it. Studies show that chronic stress, actually shrinks the part of your brain responsible for memory and learning. So when you're stressed, when you're tired and nothing seems to enter your head, nothing is entering, you feel like you're doing so much, but nothing is entering, it's not your fault. Don't beat yourself up. Like I just said, studies show that when you're very stressed, the part of your brain that should help you memorize things and learn actually shrinks, right? And the system is very intense and our mental health deserves attention. That is why we created Balance and Build. And the name captures two things every building student needs: balance, which means taking care of your mental health, managing stress, and creating time to actually rest. And then build, that not just for the department we're in, but it also means building sustainable routines, building our future, and building discipline without burnout. So, Michael, can you please turn off your camera? Thank you so much. And yeah, we did not want to just assume that we knew what everyone was going through. We wanted like real data, right? So a couple of days ago, we sent out a wellness check-in form, and the resources we got confirmed everything we suspected. We realized that 9 out of 10 students said their academic pressure is overwhelming, not just a little stressful, like it's overwhelming, it's taking a toll on them. And almost half of us, we feel very overwhelmed, like frequently or constantly. And the top stressors, like things that are constantly stressors, some of them were grades and comparison, sleep deprivation, constant deadlines, and just trying to keep up without falling apart. Right. And it just like really hurts me to see that most of us, we sacrifice our hobbies. Some of us skip meals. We don't have like social lives, or we've given up sleep just to, ensure that we are doing what we're supposed to do. Right. And just, I just want to say that it's not just you, me too, as well, most of the times. And today, most of the time, so sorry. And today we have two amazing speakers. We have a doctor with us who understands the mental health side, and also someone who has been through the building grind, and she made it out excellently well as well. So yeah, today what we're going to be expecting, some of the things we're going to be expecting today, we are going to be having expert speakers, tell us a bit about stress, burnout, and some sustainable routines we can use. We'll also be having a very, very interesting panel discussion addressing some of the anonymous questions we sent in the form. We're having interactive activities throughout. We're having a live Q&A session and a simple challenge for the week ahead. Also, we have a surprise announcement at the end of this session. So please, you don't even want to miss it. You don't want to miss it at all. So look forward to honest conversations, shared experiences, and a safe space to reflect and participate. I want us to be as comfortable as possible and as calm as possible, because all our questions, all those burning questions that we have, our speakers are going to address every single one of them. So we're talking about balance and build, it being a practical wellness workshop for building students that is focused on managing stress, preventing burnout, and building routines that support long-term success both in school and beyond. The problem is that, our problem statement for this workshop, so many of us are constantly juggling deadlines, we have expectations from family, from friends, even ourselves, expectations that we set for ourselves, right? And even like our personal life, so many things. Some of us are hustling so many jobs, they're into so much, and it gets so overwhelming, right? And most times it costs us our well-being. We're providing a solution, right? Which our speakers are going to be telling us more about. We're going to be building sustainable habits, like planning intentionally, resting without guilt, and asking for help when needed. But they're going to shed more light on that. So before we continue, we're going to do a quick game, not a game per se, but it's a this or that activity, right? So I'm going to be giving us a couple of options, and you're going to be choosing either A or B, all right? It's just to show us, I just want to see how we handle stress and pressure. And when we have like options, what do we choose? So it's very simple. Once you see the option, just drop A or B in the chat. And I want to see our responses as well. I'm going to be typing as well, but I think I might be typing as Naob. So if you see Naob's, what's it called? Responses. I'm the one, that is my response, right? So the first one is this or that. Do you sleep before the deadline, or do you push through the night? So sleep okay. Let me put my name. Please, I want to see our responses. B, mine is B. Mine is B. I push through the night. I cannot sleep before a deadline. Who sleeps before a deadline? Are you a spammer? So I'm liking, of course, Jalil is going to sleep before the deadline. She's going to sleep before the deadline. P said she's going to push through the night. I understand you, girl. Samuel B. Kachi is also going to push through the night. I think only the scholars will sleep before a deadline. Can never be Neo. Daniel said he's going to push through the night. Abdul Salam said he's going to sleep before deadline. I'm seeing so many scholars here. Oh my God. So this or that, our next question. Will you ask for help early, or will you figure it out alone? I think mine is a bit of both. So I'm going to say A and B. My own, I can shout by me. I'm very good at that. Like I need help. I'm going to say I need help. But then sometimes I just want to, be a big girl and figure things out myself. So it's A and B for me. Hamida says she's going to figure it out alone. Peace says she's going to figure it out alone. Labaka says she's going to ask for help early. And David says it depends. Someone says both. Same. Jari said, says he's going to figure it out alone. Okay. Kashi said both. Okay. Our next question is, do you think rest is productive, or do you think rest is a reward? Do you get Jali? I think I don't want to say Jali's responsible anymore. Just shut up. This or that. Do you think rest is productive, or do you think rest is a reward? I think rest is a reward, you guys. I think rest is a reward. I don't think rest is productive, even though that is probably the right answer. I do not sleep or rest until I've done everything I'm supposed to do. It's not good on you guys. Rest is productive. David says rest is a myth. Honestly, I understand you so well. But honestly, you guys, we need to rest as much as possible. Inka says rest is a reward. Ademidu says rest can be both. It can both can be productive, and it can also be a reward. Daniel says, Larry says rest is productive. Labaka says rest is a reward. Okay, very good. This or that. So most times, do you feel on top of things? Like you feel like, oh my days, when they bring anything and I'm just like mad? Or do you always feel like you're constantly catching up? Do you always feel like you're constantly behind? Things are moving way too quickly. Or most times when things happen or when you have things to do you feel like I got this like mad? There's nothing I cannot do. I think most of our responses are constantly catching up with this building. Constantly catching up the same. I can say she ain't got it. I ain't got another man. Oh my dude. Daniel says he feels on top of things. I think I need to know who this Daniel is. Please, I must see you after this session so you can school me. Next one is this or that. I know when I'm burnt out, or I usually ignore the signs. I think mine is A. I know when I'm burnt out. Like, I'm always burnt out. I'm always tired. I'm always overwhelmed. and I usually ignore the signs most of the time. You guys are learning like the bad habits that we have. Oh. I think mine is A and B as well, Kachi. I know when I'm burnt out and I will still ignore the signs. I must do what I'm supposed to do. I must finish everything I'm supposed to do. I never rest until I've done every single thing I'm supposed to do. And it's not supposed to be, you guys. I hope you're learning now. Let's not ignore the signs. Let's speak out. Let's get some rest. The next one is this or that, quality over quantity. Are you a perfectionist like myself? Or are you the type that you just rule to the answer? You just get it done and then you refine later. Most times you don't even get to refine later. So is it A or B? You guys, I'm quality over quantity. And I tell you, being a perfectionist is like a course, so right? It's very good. It has like its good sides. It has pros, I mean, but it's cons. And you will spend a million years trying to ensure that something gets done like perfectly. Meanwhile, some people they just do anyhow. Some of my customers who have assignments, they will just do they're supposed to something that's supposed to be very proper. You see them submitting 2 pages, and then there's me. It will like with my 12 pages, feel like that is okay. And there are some people Scholar Dami. Isn't it Scholar Dami yet? I don't mention anybody anymore. Scholar Dami, Scholar Kazim, Scholar Jalil. God, I beg. These people, once you see their oh, I don't want to think about it. Don't let me kill myself. So you guys, thank you so much for being very vulnerable, very open on here. It was very nice seeing what we do under different circumstances, right? And I hope we've been able to see like the bad and the good and what we should do. What's like ideal for us to do for our mental health, for our well-being, right? So we are moving on to our first speaker of the day. Please, can I get some drum rolls? Like, I want to see drum rolls, some hats, some flowers. You could even the person I want to bring up next. But please give her a round of applause. Our first speaker is Dr. Kawanishe Onyade. Oh my days. Hi, ma'am. You look so gorgeous. You guys, I'm going to give you a bio about Dr. Kawanishe Onyade. Listen attentively, oh. Please, I want to, aside like the reactions, please go to the chat box, say, so lovely to meet you, ma'am. We're so happy to have you here. Make her feel loved. I'm sure today is a weekend. She probably wants to rest after a very, very exhausting week. But she's here with us today. We love you, ma'am. We appreciate you so much. Dr. Oyi is a compassionate medical doctor. Hey, with a strong passion for preventive medicine and public health. She's a recipient of the President's NYSC Honors Award 2025. Please, I want to be seeing those, claps and flowers. She has over 3 years of experience empowering individuals and communities to take charge of their well-being. She's a graduate of Lagos State University College of Medicine. She currently works in the Jesus, I should have googled how to pronounce this thing. Obstetrics and gynecology department. You guys, pardon my Wimbo. At Ali Mosho General Hospital, Lagos, I work in tertiary hospitals, deepening our commitment to disease prevention and health education. Dr. Kawanishe pioneered the first preventive medicine clinic in Jigawa State at Dutse General Hospital. Oh my days. She organized community outreaches and developed a preventive medicine manual to sustain the clinic's impact. Their service now. Through webinars, health talks, and outreach programs, she continues to inspire healthier living. She's a dedicated public health advocate. I can't see you people, but I hope you're still clapping for her. She's a dedicated public health advocate, a caring physician, and a proud child of God. She understands the clinical side of stress and burnout, and she's here to help us recognize the signs, understand what's happening in our bodies and minds, and give us practical tools to manage it all. Dr. Onyade, thank you so much for being here. We are really excited to hear from you. You can unmute your mic. Like she's the beauty, God. Can you unmute your mic, or do I have to unmute?
I can help mute. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. It's such a privilege to be here. Do you need me to turn on my video or that's not necessary?
I mean, we would love to see your beautiful face. I already seen it, but you're free, ma'am.
That's fine.
Hi, you're so pretty.
So good to be here. It's such a pleasure to be here, to be with each and every one of us. Thank you so much for having me. Of course, I would like to appreciate the leadership, the president, the vice president, and the entire executive committee. Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate every one of you. And thank you for this initiative. It really shows that you are concerned leaders and you are intentional about everyone in your department. You are really concerned about them. Thank you so, so much. So let's go into the topic of today. So we're talking about mental health and burnout. Okay, so first I'd like to share a story with us. So a few months ago, this is a personal story. A few months ago, I was in the middle of plenty things. Of course, as a medical doctor, you're always in the middle of plenty things. You have deadlines, you have exams to write, you have qualifications to get, and you're working, transit, trying to, pay bills, adults is adulting, all of those things. And it just got to a point I became so, so exhausted. I didn't stop doing everything I was doing. I was still working, I was still showing up, I was still smiling, but I knew I was so, so exhausted. I knew at that point I had lost interest in many things. So I was just showing up just to, just so that my space will not be vacant. So that, okay, let's just show up for showing up sake. I had lost interest. I was not interested in anything. I was just, so at that point, I knew that I had gotten to a place where I needed help. Of course, someone like me, first things first, I spoke to God about it. And then He led me to speak to someone. And thankfully, that person I spoke to, he could relate with where I was. He didn't see it as unusual. I don't know. Some people would be like, oh, no, those kind of things don't happen. Actually, they happen. Stress is real. Chronic stress is real. Burnout is very, very real. And he could relate and he could help me with things I needed to do, how I needed to, adjust myself, get the much needed rest and all of those things. Then I came back again fresh and of course everything was better. Now, likewise, this kind of thing would also happen to students. Imagine being a building student, you have many deadlines to meet up with, you have projects to work on, and at the same time you're having tests, you're having exams, you're having classes. Nothing is stopping for anything. Everything is going on simultaneously. Being a medical student also, you have in courses, you have to attend lectures, you have to attend clinic. So it's not just that you go to lectures then come back and rest. No, you also have to attend clinic. You have to see patients, you have to collect patients, get ready for the next day, all of those things. And many times it gets stressful. But many people don't know what to do when it gets stressful. So that is why we are here to talk about mental health and burnout. It happens, it is not unusual. But what do you do when it happens? So here is our table of contents, and we are going to be going straight into talking about mental health. So mental health is a state of mental well-being that enables people to cope with the stresses of life, to realize their abilities, to learn and work well, and also contribute to their community. Now, it is important that I think mental health is one of the aspects of health that many people underestimate or they don't really pay attention to, because it takes some time before you start seeing the signs and symptoms. And sometimes, even when you are seeing the signs, you choose not to pay attention to it. You choose to ignore it by yourself. So in order for someone to say, for me to say someone is actually mentally stable or mentally healthy, it is important that the person can cope with stresses of life. You know your abilities and you are able to handle those stresses. You are able to learn to work well. And at the same time, you are also contributing to your community. Now, this is statistics of mental health disorders in 2021. If you look at it, I'm just going to be pointing out few areas in it. The the deepened part, the deepened part, that is the 18%. It shows countries like Alaska in USA, it shows United States of America, it shows Brazil, Spain, Tunisia, Iran, Australia, New Zealand. Those areas have about 18% of mental health disorder and people living with depression, anxiety, bipolar, eating disorders and schizophrenia. Now, somewhere like Nigeria, it is not so much, and I believe why it is not so much is because we don't have good records. People are not taking records of what is happening, and even those people that are actually having mental breakdown and all of those things, they just assume that, oh, it is one enemy in the father's house that is doing them. They won't say, oh, this is depression, this is anxiety, this is bipolar, this is schizophrenia. They'll say, oh, it is enemy in the father's house. So at the end of the day, they won't get the much needed help. I think that's why the one for Nigeria is low. Nigeria, Mali, Niger, etc. So now let's talk about this. About 1 billion, more than 1 billion people are living with mental health disorders, according to the new data released by the World Health Organization. And of course, they have conditions such as anxiety, depression, inflicting immense human and economic tolls. So many times people are just living with this and they see it as normal. Unfortunately, it is not. Now, in Nigeria, 40 million people are affected by mental illness. The World Health Organization says there are about 20% of Nigerians, about 40 million people are affected. They have anxiety, depression, some have PTSD. PTSD is what we call post-traumatic stress disorder. Now let's talk about stress. What is stress? Stress can be defined as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Now, stress is a natural human response. It is not, like I said initially, it's not unusual to feel stressed. Stress is a natural human response and it prompts us to address challenges and threats in our lives. Everyone experiences stress one way or the other. You have to pay bills, you're stressed about it. You have projects to pay for, you're stressed about it. You have to restock on your foodstuffs in your hostel or something, you're stressed about it. Yeah, you have to take a long journey. Maybe you're traveling from somewhere to something, you're stressed about it. So stress is normal. However, what makes a big difference is how you handle the stress, how you respond to the stress. So that you are going to be stressed, it is not, we can't contend that. Stress will come. If you are living, you will definitely experience stress. But how you respond to it is what matters. Now, let's talk about burnout. Burnout is a syndrome conceptualized as resulting from chronic workplace stress that has not been successfully managed. It is characterized by three dimensions. Number one, feelings of energy depletion and exhaustion. You are just tired. You are waking up in the morning. Sometimes you might have even slept 7 hours, but you are still feeling tired. You are still feeling exhausted, even after waking up. There's increased mental distance from one's job or school activities, or feelings of negativism or cynicism related to one's job. And then three, there's reduced professional efficacy. Now, burnout refers specifically to phenomena in occupational context, though some school of thought says you can apply burnout to any context. But according to the World Health Organization, it is limited or it is streamlined to work and, of course, anything that is demanding from you. Of course, like academic also qualifies. So when they talk about burnout, they don't like to ask to apply it to other areas of life that does not involve work. So take note of these three things: feeling of energy depletion or exhaustion, increased mental distance. You're just not interested. A job you used to love, you're just a course that you applied for. You're just not interested. Even if you didn't apply for the course that they decided to give you the course, when you were starting, you were so excited about it. But at some point you just lost interest. I was seeing many people's feedbacks about, how building has been and all of those things. And I was seeing plenty negative responses. And it is not abnormal. It is just one of the signs. There's also reduced professional efficacy. You're doing everything you can, but you're not getting the results you want to get to. Now, here is a quote from John Kabat-Zinn. And it says, "You can't stop the waves, but you can learn to surf." So like we said, stress is inevitable. You can't do away with stress, but you can learn to respond properly to the stress. So you can't stop the wave. The wave would always continue going. If you go to an ocean, if you go to a beach, the wave will always continue to move on and on and on. But you can learn to surf. You can learn to surf. You can use the wave as a stepping stone for yourself to surf. So let's talk about the difference between stress and burnout. Stress versus burnout. Now, stress is a response to a specific challenge or demand. So when there is a specific challenge or demand, naturally you are stressed. However, burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by prolonged stress. So you hear people talking about chronic stress. You have been undergoing stress for like 6 months straight, no rest, no break. Every single day of that 6 months, every single day of that 3 months, you have been experiencing stress. That is what is causing burnout. Now, it is typically short-term and can be managed. For stress, it is short-term and it can be managed. But burnout, it develops over time, and burnout is usually more chronic. Now, individuals experiencing stress may feel overwhelmed, but they still have hope. Even if I remember when I was doing the project of a preventive medicine clinic in Jigawa State, the first time I wrote my budget, it was about 6 million naira. You want to imagine a copper collecting 33,000 naira. You don't know anybody in that particular state. I was born in Lagos and I don't even understand anything like Hausa. Now I'm now doing a 6 million naira project in Jigawa State where I don't have any of my relatives and all of those things. So it was just stressing my mind. How am I going to do it? How is it going to work out? And of course, it turned out great. Thank God. All glory to God. So stress, you might just feel overwhelmed, but you still have hope. You might feel overwhelmed, but you know that at the end of the day, things will still work out fine. However, people experiencing burnout often feel depleted and empty, believing they have nothing left to give. The example I made a few minutes ago about when I was getting stressed with my job and deadlines and exams and everything. It's at the point I felt I even told my boss one day that I am so exhausted. And of course, they're still calling you, come and do surgery. They're still calling you, see emergency patients. They're still calling you, you have something to do. So you would always have to show up. But then somewhere in you just feel, you are so exhausted, you don't have anything to give. Now that is what burnout looks like. Thank you, Goma. We're in stress versus burnout, the last point. So for stress, it can lead to anxiety and irritability. However, burnout is characterized by feelings of hopelessness and detachment from work or responsibilities. So people are feeling hopeless, people are detached from work, they are detached from responsibilities. Sometimes they don't want to show up, sometimes they don't even show up. And then when they finally show up, you are blaming them, instead of actually addressing the cause. Unfortunately, many people don't speak out. Many people just keep going until they break, which is not something good. Okay, Now let's talk about causes of burnout. What can cause burnout? Number one, heavy workloads. I'm aware that building students have heavy workloads and you have deadlines to meet, constant deadlines. And I can totally relate with it because if you meet a medical student, is either they just finished an exam or they are preparing for another exam. Any medical student, is that they just finished an exam or they are preparing for another exam. If you are not doing major exams that we call professional exams, you are doing in courses which accumulates to which we call CA. We call it continuous assessment, but they are in courses, so they are exam settings. So there's always one thing going on, one thing after another. Now, building students likewise, you always have deadlines to meet. You have courses to complete. You have things to read, and it goes on and on. So heavy workloads can cause burnout. When students are consistently overloaded with tasks and responsibilities, it can lead to chronic stress and exhaustion. Number two, lack of control. Feeling powerless in your academics, it can exacerbate burnout. It can just make it worse. Number three, poor work-life balance. I think I heard Boma talking about how many people don't have a social life and all of those things. There is just no balance. Even when you are at home, your mind is thinking of your deadline. Even during your Christmas and your New Year holidays, you are thinking of how to, go about something, how to build something, or how to work on something, how to work on the project, how to deliver, all of it. So sometimes it is a necessity to have a good work-life balance so that school doesn't encroach on your personal time. In school, I used to have a friend that, I don't know how that girl does it, honestly, but Mondays to Friday, she reads so much. She reads so much. But weekends, Saturday, Sunday, there is nothing you are going to do about it. She does not read on Saturday and Sunday. And somehow she has been passing. It has been working for her. So at the end of the day, it depends on what is going to work for you. Just make sure that you have a good work-life balance, a good school and life balance. Another cause of burnout is insufficient support. A lack of social support from colleagues and supervisors can increase feelings of isolation and stress. Another is unclear job expectations. When you, especially maybe freshmen, like freshers, when you enter into school, somewhere in your mind they're like, she's just chilling, you just building. It's not a big deal. At least I'm not a law student or I'm not a medical student. So, but then when you start seeing the work that is coming your way, you're like, you did not sign up for this. So sometimes unclear expectations, when students are unsure of their role, it can create confusion and stress, leading to burnout. Ineffective leadership. Now, poor management practice can contribute to burnout. Leaders who fail to create a supportive and empathetic work environment can exacerbate stress levels among employees. Now, I would use this opportunity to once again commend your leaders for even having this kind of workshop for you, because it truly means that they are concerned about your mental well-being. Now, this is just a graphical image of the causes of academic burnout. So I'm just going to run through it quickly because of our time. Lack of work-life balance, I explained that earlier. Perfectionism. Ugoma mentioned how she's a perfectionist. Unfortunately, I am also one. And many times, it's not really something nice because you just want it to be perfect before you put it out there. I remember I started making some videos 2 years ago, teaching some people about things and all, and you will not believe that I kept that video private, only sharing it to my specific mentees, for about 2 years. There's one day one of my friends just stumbled on it, as in we're talking about something, and I showed him, and he was like, this girl, put this thing out there. I'm like, oh, it's not so good, it's not so perfect. The thing ought to be this, it ought to be that, and all. He's just like, put this thing out there. And when I put it out there, people were thanking me that, oh, thank you so much for those things you said. They really helped me and all of those things. So sometimes being a perfectionist is not always a positive thing, honestly. So another thing is lack of support. When there's no support from home or from peers, when you don't have a community supporting you. Financial struggle can also cause academic burnout. When you have a student who is the one, they are paying their school fees and they're also trying to, do everything that school is demanding at the same time. Excessive workload, unrealistic expectations, imposter syndrome. This imposter syndrome, persistent fear of being exposed as a fraud or not being good enough, despite the evidence of competence. Even even your lecturers, they know that you are good at these things, but something in your mind just keeps telling you you're not good enough, you're not good enough, you're not good, but everything is just a lie. It's what we call imposter syndrome. Now, competitive environment also, sometimes it is not very good, because even the Bible says that only fools compare themselves with each other. So sometimes just focus on your own journey. And if for any reason you are going to want to compare yourself in the past with your present self, so that you keep improving on that self of yours. So it is very, very important. Poor time management also can cause academic burnout. So let's talk about stages of burnout. The honeymoon phase, where you just entered into school, everything is chilled, there's undivided attention, you're excited about it, freshers and all of those things, university students, unbridled optimism. I remember when I first entered medical school, someone was telling me, medicine, you are going to read, though it's not as easy as people. In my mind, I'm like, well, what do you know, apparently that person's son he's a doctor, so she knew what she was talking about. But so in my mind, I was just like, thank you, let me rest. And until I entered into it fully, then I began to see what she was talking about. So there's the honeymoon phase, where everybody is just, chill. They're like, there's no big deal. It's not just university. It's not just building and all. Now, the onset of stress also, that's the second stage. The signs starts to show. You start seeing it. Your focus lessens. You're not as active as you used to be. Your productivity lowers. Sometimes you're getting tired. When it comes to work, you're like, when it comes to school, you're like, we're going again. That's it, start coming little by little. Then chronic stress. Then the stress becomes more persistent. It is obvious. You're always stressed. You're always worried about something. Then the burnout sets in. At burnout phase, some people, when people speak about the burnout, this is the phase when people speak about the burnout. Some people notice it and they speak about it, and some they just still ignore it and like, we move jare, we'll be fine, Even if we're going to break, at least we'll break trying, all of those things. Now, there's habitual burnout. This is chronic sadness, and it can even lead to depression, leading to mental illness. At this point, burnout has become embedded in the person's life, and they are no longer able to carry on as they were. So this habitual burnout is the highest stage of burnout. At that point, the person needs help. If the person doesn't get help, then the life just comes downward from there. And I don't advise anyone to get there. So let's talk about the signs, warning signs. How do you know when to ask for help? How do you know when to stop and catch your breath? Sometimes there's constant exhaustion, there's dreading responsibilities, which I've mentioned before, feeling detached, unmotivated, emotionally numb, struggling to focus, or you're making more mistakes than usual, feeling irritable or anxious, or you're overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed more often than not. Now, having frequent physical symptoms like headache, digestive issues, muscle tension, decreased performance also. You used to be a very good student and then you saw that your grades started dropping and all of those things. Now, other signs, let's divide them into emotional, physical, cognitive, and behavioral signs. For emotional signs, people start feeling hopeless. There's detachment or cynicism towards academic work. They're just not interested. When it comes to academic work, they're like, I beg, let me rest. There's increased anxiety, there's mood swings, irritability, loss of motivation and enthusiasm, feeling of inadequacy or imposter syndrome. I explained imposter syndrome earlier. Heightened emotional reactivity. Now let's talk about physical signs. For the physical signs, there's persistent fatigue and exhaustion. I mentioned earlier how you can just wake up in the morning and you're still feeling tired and you're like, didn't I just sleep for 5 hours or something? How am I still tired and all? persistent fatigue and exhaustion, frequent headaches and migraines, muscle tension, pain, changes in appetite. You are no longer interested in eating as you were. And even some people, they even eat more. So also insomnia, not having, not being able to sleep well, or even oversleeping. So both of them can be a sign. Then weakened immune system. Now cognitive signs, difficulty in concentrating or focusing in class. You're just, your mind is somewhere else entirely. You are not able to focus in class. Somewhere else entirely. Your lecturer is talking about building and things like that, and you are thinking, of making money with or something in class, and you're just not interested. Forgetfulness and memory issues, indecisiveness, reduced problem solving abilities, negative or pessimistic thought patterns. Now, behavioral science, you realize you begin to procrastinate. You realize you are absent from classes, the social withdrawal, you're just not interested in many things. Now, let's talk about management. I think at this point, I would like to ask, how many people can relate with all these things that we have been saying? Because it is important that, thank you for the response. Please, I need more responses. I hope you can relate. I hope you understand. I hope I'm not speaking too much medical grammar. I made sure that there was not going to be excessive medical grammar. Okay, beautiful. Beautiful. Now, let's talk on management of burnout. Now, how many of us have actually been in this space of burnout before and we have actually sought for help? I like the responses. Thank you for the responses. Thank you for the responses. Okay, so now it is important that even as you can relate with this, that you are able to seek for help. You are able to do what you ought to do. You are able to take care of yourself. Now, I'm not saying school is not important, but you are more important than school, because at the end of the day, it is somebody that is fine. It is not someone that is mentally alert and mentally healthy that can, continue school and excel at school. So, number one, prioritize your health. Very, very important. Focus on self-care, regular exercise, healthy eating, sufficient sleep. Sometimes you are not really, sometimes you don't have plenty problem. Just sit down and eat healthy food, and you realize that all the problems you have, they just float into thin air, and then you just start seeing solution. It's hunger. It's hunger. Just eat healthy. Don't eat bread and akara. Eat healthy food. Healthy food, and then you realize that things will just start working out, and then you be like, let me do this one first, then I'll do this one next. Things just start aligning. Just prioritize your health. Number two, shift your perspective. Identify which aspects of the situation can be changed and which ones cannot be, and adjust your focus accordingly. There are some things you can't do anything about it again. For instance, you have a lecturer that maybe that doesn't explain as much as you want the person to explain. There's nothing you can do about it. Especially some lecturers go, even when you even talk to them about it, that is when they will have more trouble. So there are some things you can't just do anything about. So instead of being hell bent on getting the lecturer to be a better person, no. Instead, get yourself to be a better student, and go and make some research and read those things more and all of those things. So shift your perspective from things that you can't change. Focus on the things that you can change. Now, reduce stressors. As much as possible, limit your exposure to stressful activities and relationships. Very, very important to reduce stressors. Number four, seek support. Now, I mentioned how I spoke to God and God led me to speak to someone. So don't just stay as if everything is fine when everything is not. Seek support. Now, number five, create a recovery plan. Develop a personalized plan that includes specific steps to address your burnout and promote recovery. Now, it may be a plan that spans 1 week, over 1 week, or over 1 month, but make sure that it is a plan that works for you and that you can stay with it. Now, let's talk about prevention. We are already feeling stressed. We don't want to even dabble into experiencing burnout. I'm going to run through this because I know that my time is almost up. Goma, please, how many minutes do I have left? Okay, so let me just continue quickly. Like,
You have about 2 minutes left, ma'am.
okay, did you say 2 minutes?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you very much. So let's talk on prevention of burnout. Number one, prioritize self-care. We mentioned that before. It is important. If now self-care is specific to yourself. So you don't necessarily have to do what people say you should do. Just do what works for you. Sometimes staying in your house and staying away from the noise is enough for you to relax. Now, some people they like to go out. Someone like me, staying in my house and staying away from Lagos noise is the best thing for me if I want to relax. So prioritize self-care, take care of yourself, eat well, do exercise, practice mindfulness, practice meditation, anything that works for you. Number two, set realistic boundaries, very very important. Number three, prioritize sleep. Now I was here when you were talking about, you have deadlines. Would you sleep before the deadline, or you're going to go through the night, as in you're going to push it through the night? Sleep is important. As at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Though even I don't get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, but make sure that whatever hours of sleep you are getting is sufficient for you and you're feeling refreshed, because sleep has a way of helping you to recharge. It is a way your body recharges. So practice effective time management. This is very important. If you manage your time properly, then many of the things that are so much that are clogging your mind, it will just get better. Prioritize your tasks. It's not everywhere that you have to be. It's not every single thing that you have to do. And also break them into smaller practicable things. Now, practice gratitude. There are good things that has been happening in your life too. There are good things that you have been seeing since you came to this, since you joined this department. Prioritize gratitude. Talk about the good things also. Don't only focus on the bad things. Cultivate a supportive network. You have a network of people here. Talk to people. You have friends, you have department members, you have fellowship members, or mosque members, or things like that. So cultivate a supportive network, people that understand you, people that can relate with what you are going through. Take regular breaks. Breaks are very very important. Practice mindfulness and stress reduction technique, and self-reflection and self-compassion. This is very very important, to take time to self-reflect on a regular basis. Everyone is different, and you need to assess your needs, your values and your goals. Understand your need limits and acknowledge when you're having a hard time. Know when you need to step back, and always prioritize your well-being. Be kind to yourself. You are a good person. You are a good person. You are loved. Be kind to yourself. Don't always beat up yourself even when things don't work out the way you want. Now, the last one, seek professional support. So when you see that it has gotten out of hand, please seek professional support. Now, this quote from Mel Robbins says, your mental health is everything. Prioritize it. Make the time like your life depends on it, because it actually does. Your life actually depends on your mental health. It is a healthy person that can be in school. It is a healthy person that can graduate and be a person in the community that would bring impact to the community. So here are my references. Thank you all for listening, and thank you for being a part of this.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Oh my days. Thank you so much. Please, I want to see more reactions. Thank you so much. I took down so many notes. Thank you so much, ma'am. God bless you. Thank you so much. I think some of the things that stood out to me was just like knowing like the difference between burnout and stress. Because based like off of your explanation, just kind of things like um burnout is like the advanced version of stress, right? And I feel like most people feel like maybe burnout is quite it's not as serious as stress. But then knowing like the symptoms of burnout and seeing that I can relate to most of these things, so it's like very eye opening. And then I like that you said gratitude is a key. right? Because most of the time we focus on like the negative aspects on what we are doing wrongly or we're not doing well, and then we forget that we are human, and we also forget that even amidst all these things we've achieved so many things, no matter how small, no matter how big. And I just want to urge us to celebrate ourselves and give ourselves more grace. Thank you so much, Doctor. We're so grateful. So we'll be moving on to the next speaker of the day. Please, drum rolls and all the reactions. Please, 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 please. We are bringing in our graduate. So, please give me a second. Let me share the slides. So join me in welcoming Tolupe Taiwo. More reactions, more reactions, more reactions, more reactions, guys. So I'm
Hi
going to be giving a brief
everyone.
bio of Tolupe. Hi, wait, calm down. Let me, bring you in softly, like the queen that you are. Let me show you the screen properly. You guys, our scholar is in town. So we have Bolupe Taiwo. Bolupe Taiwo is a faith-driven individual who believes in discipline, consistency, resilience, and excellence. She sees herself as an athlete, meaning she has to show up every single time. She served as the PRO of the Department of Building when she was in 200 level. Her leadership journey continued as she served as the Financial and Welfare Sec of the Faculty of Environmental Sciences Fellowship FESSF in 400 level, and as president of the fellowship in our final year. During her internship semester, she interned with MC&T as the project manager, overseeing 7 high-profile projects across Lagos State. God, I beg you. And with a passion for project management, Bolupe is also a first-class graduate with 3 consecutive sorry guys. The first class graduate with 2 consecutive 5.0 GPAs. And she's a recent graduate member of the National Nigerian Institute of Building. Thank you so much, Bolupe. She's a
Thank
building
you so
alumna,
much.
which means she's been exactly where we are. She knows how it's like to juggle studio work, deadlines, and life. She's here to share how she built routines that actually work and how she managed her time without losing her mind, and how she made it through without burning out completely. Over to you, Bolupe. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi everyone. I'm sure you guys were not expecting you guys were not expected to see me this way, but I'm sorry, Thank you so much, Nahobs, the entire team, executives, Uguma, thank you so much for having me today. I would also like to thank the doctor as well. Thank you so much for sharing such beautiful insights. You people are embarrassing you. To the entire Naos community, thank you guys so much. You guys are my family, and I love each and every one of you guys. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. My looks might be a bit distracting, but clock it, clock it. My bad. Yeah. So into today's business. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me. And firstly, I would like to share a bit of my story. Um, I I am an average kid. I still think of myself as average because obviously I'm not there yet. I'm like just the small girl. Yeah. So I mean, leaving school, I'm sure we have, students from different levels over here who might be able to relate to, a bit of my story. I wasn't the head girl. I wasn't very perfect at all. I was just that girl. So coming into uni, starting out, you know, new environment, new faces obviously, new friends. Everybody has something to say that would help you. Everybody has one particular tutorial they feel you should join. I can remember during my year one tutorial, the tutor actually told me one part. I never liked chemistry, by the way. And then he told me instead of stressing, or he told the entire class rather that I was taking, it was like instead of stressing yourself, on chemistry, why not just fail chemistry and pass other courses? That way your GP sinks, but it doesn't sink too much. Yeah, And then I add an E in chemistry. I was so happy because I never really liked chemistry. All I just wanted was, I didn't even understand what it means to even have a GP. I didn't even know it was cumulative. I was just winging it. So to every other person who is winging it, to the people who have it figured out from the start, who have a game plan, how to approach, university as a whole, you know, I congratulate you. Welcome to the ghetto, and I hope, you don't get surprised along the way. Um, yeah, I have to speak on three things, which are the pressures, the routines, and the sustainable practice habits, rather. So for the pressures, firstly, I would like to say yes, I can relate, and I'm really glad that the previous speaker, the doctor, spoke a lot about what stress is, what burnout is, what you can do, sleep, sleep well, eat well. There's that thing, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry I don't have slides to share, but it's just your homegirl sharing one or two. Please take me as I am, please. I'm really, really sorry. Yeah, there's that fear of, for those who are not new in, there's that fear of, whatever happened last semester that you have to live with, you have to move on from it, you have to heal from it. There's that part, which, trust me, is one of the hardest, you know, pressures you can deal with. That internal pressure, because firstly, pressure starts from it within before, without, before you start. Comparison is not even informed by, seeing others first. It's about you yourself feeling less. You feel like, you are not good enough. You feel like you are not there yet. You feel like you can be someone else. Then the people who you see around, then now start to, water that seed till it grows into a plant, grows into a huge tree into you, and then you are so insecure, you are so scared of everything. And then there was this fear of, I don't know about the scholars over here that used to, teach. I can remember one particular semester that I taught someone, just little teaching, and then there was that and then I saw the results after. The person I taught had, I think, a B or so, and I had a D. And the D was not actually my deal. They mixed up results that I even later went to go and fight for. Yes, note to self, you people should go and fight for your result. If you know that that is not what you did, in a good way, if you know that that's not what you did. But these mistakes do happen. Trust me, they do happen. So it's important that you also speak up, in that regard. But do not be rude, please. I never said anybody should be rude. Yes, there's also that fear of, I think, towards the later years, not year one, year two, like about in year four, year five. No, I think aside from year three, because my set had a lot of strikes here and there in between. So it was definitely, it was one for the books. There's that fear of, do I really want to do build? Why building? I'll still end up on sites now. So I mean, it's stressful. Then you not check, like, you check how much people are making. I mean, those ahead of you, you say, 70K. 70K. How much is my pocket money? I will not finish all of this. I will not be earning 70K. 70K. What will 70K do? Just my feeding, like, there are some ridiculous salaries out there. You be like, can't I just drift into tech? Let me just try tech. And then you while you are still in school, you are checking out your UX courses, you are checking out front end development, you are checking out back end. This money must be made actually. But what kind of course is this? Why you people why is the future not looking bright? I want to be making tech money. I want to be making like 300K. So your head is in two places. Then you see that your classmates with car. This guy says these nice t-shirts, these mad jeans, like, my classmates don't get car. Me, I dey here, they push rubbish CG up and down, they struggle, they carry book up and down, they go class. Meanwhile, this guy, see the iPhone, big camera, everybody's already looking hot, and then you are just that guy that's the only long and short of the story of your life is just go to school. Even the school self, the two one is shaking, or the two self might be shaking. So there's also that pressure. Then your roommates, that was another level in itself. Your roommates, those ones with boyfriend, those ones with girlfriend, those ones that will tell you that you can have a relationship and still be focused on books now. Relationship is not stopping you from focusing on your academics. How do they you can be, gisting with somebody that will be encouraging you, and then you might just be that guy in between. You're like, under pressure too, Ray. There's just pressures left, right, and center, and voices are speaking to you. You feel left out, fear of missing out, fear of being left behind, fear of being nowhere to be found, fear of not even having a future. And guess how old you are? You're probably less than like 19 years old, and all these thoughts are running through your head. And lo and behold, the actual deadlines are still sitting in front of you, and you are so unsure, you are so tired, you are so confused. You don't even know where you belong in the end. But trust me, I would like to say this to that effect. Many of us, left secondary school writing work, writing jump, and I'm sure we all prayed to God. We all, some of us fasted and prayed. Some of us was our parents, running out at scatter that mommy budo get admission, mommy budo enter University of Lagos. But you didn't do all of that, and you didn't make it here on your own. Yeah, let me put it that way. You didn't make it here on your own. So you moving on, you progressing in life, being a student, still while being a student, you can't do it on your own. So while addressing pressures, sometimes or most times, because like I mentioned, pressures start from within. You have to go back within. Pray to God. Be it a Muslim, be it a Christian, pray to God, talk to God, know exactly where you are at. Know exactly where you are at. So you are not, because there's no traffic in your lane, trust me. There's absolutely no traffic in your lane. You have a destination. So you shouldn't be, you know, I can remember one particular Yoruba proverb that says, something something shama wari waja. You should have a focus. Yes, the pressures will keep coming, it's continuous. But if you have an anchor, you have, yes, the right word is an anchor. No matter the waves, your ship will still stay on course. Your ship will still have a direction. Even while you are studying building, headaches here and there, there's tension here and there, you still have it, would I say figured out in a bit, or in a way, Sha, that okay, this is exactly what I'm doing, this is what I'm not doing. Now, moving on to, I really also like to commend, the previous speaker speaking about stressful relationships. Sometimes, we do a lot of talking and we don't do a lot of listening to ourselves, our inside, our spirit inside. We do a lot of, let me talk to my friend about it. Let me talk to this guy about it. Let me talk to that person about it. And then you talk, 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 and then it's just like you have your entire, journal filled with advice. Many, many people go advise you. I tell you that it's full mouth and a full ground. But really, don't bother having, your gist everywhere. Firstly, talk to the one inside. Then, if the one inside says, "Oh, this is the guy you should talk to about it," then proceed. But don't be that guy who just, every senior you are telling your story, the story of your life to it. It's, yes, fine, it's good, but don't don't, not everybody has your best interest in heart, or not everybody is even in a good position to advise you, because at every point in life everybody's just figuring it out. So moving on to, routines. Prioritizing is really important. I think towards my final year, when I started, not like I didn't take books seriously, but I was just that guy that likes to wing it, like, because I don't come from a background where there is. I think my mom even found out I had the first class when my results came out. Nobody asked for my results. Nobody, because from my background, it's business. I mean, business, nothing concerning BSc, bow. Let's do business. So, like, there's no pressure of, oh, Bolupe, you must come out to first class. If you come out to 2-1, like, everything's accepted in my house, so to speak. So, even me having the first class, It's not a plaque at home. Trust me. At the end of the day, it's really not a plaque at home. So yeah, prioritizing things, knowing what's important. I think towards, like I was saying, towards my final semesters, I did a lot of writing. You know, the sticky notes where you write out all your assignments, then you have it before you, so nothing slips out. The assignment, the course, and then the date is due. And the date is due is not actually the date is due. The date is due is like 2 days before. That is my own personal deadline. The actual deadline in itself is the day I'm submitting it. So if it's due 2 days um prior to the actual, deadline, I will have it ready no matter what I have. And then I will send it to one of my seniors. I'll send it to him. I'll send it to him. He should review because I know he's really, really busy. But at least first impression, what do you think about what I've done so far? Do I start all over again, or I proceed with what I have, or it's fine as it is? So in prioritizing, know what's important, get it done ASAP, and then also little drops of water in the ocean. One thing that really helped me, because I had a lot going on for me personally. I had fellowship. I had health issues. Yes, health issues. Speaking to you people, stop buying food outside. I had 2 weeks before my final exams. I had typhoid and malaria. Ha! And then I had cough combined again. So what's not the point of all the book I've been reading if I'm just going to fall sick 1 week to my exam? Like, it was horrible. Thoughts were going through my head. So please make sure you guys don't eat just anywhere. Don't let them spoil the the GP you've been trying to build. Since one health while I should now come from nowhere. Please eat healthy. Have fruits. Any small, pawpaw, pineapple, banana. Close your eye, buy it, eat fruits, drink lots of water. Make sure you're not, overstretching yourself. So yeah, little drops of water in the ocean. I said, I had a very, very busy, semester. But one thing that really helped was that I do write a lot. Please make sure you guys attend classes. It will stick. Last, at least for people who attend classes consistently, they end up with nothing less than a C. So at least if at all you attend classes consistently, then you now go back to study very well again. Definitely you'll be having more than a C. So just so you avoid stressing yourself, make sure that consistently you read every day. Every single day. So that stress doesn't, the stress that you are trying, the stress that is in the future, put it let it be, spanned out all through your present. Little drops of water in the ocean. And you're not doing long stretch of 5 hour mile. I know for some people it works, but it works for a short time. It is not a lifetime thing that will work for you forever. Because obviously you have your career, you have family. So you need to, know how to properly be organized, be consistent with little behaviors. Read at least, let's say, even if it's an hour, just open one course by your phone. On your phone, just open that PDF, just look at it, and just stay there. Like, speak to your inside. It's just 1 hour. Open it, look at it, have it before you every single day. Every single day, every single day. Read at least your scheme of work. You have like eight topics on your scheme of work or so, and you don't even need to read all the eight. At the end of the exam is answer 4 out of how many. So out of those eight, at least one today, 1 hour, this one. Tomorrow, you don't have to wait till the end of the semester, because most people wait till the end of the semester, end up being stressed, tired, very impromptu. But at the end of the day, some people will tell you they made it out, it helped them, but they will tell you that what was going through their mind, a lot of thoughts were going through their mind. Like, I want you enter the exam hall, sure, like, see nothing you want bring come. I know fit, like, you can't surprise me. Dear lecturer, you can't surprise me. So have that confidence. That confidence helps you not be fearful. Yes, it helps you to not be fearful. And also, I'd like to mention that thing of social media. I know there's that whole thing of Gen Z. Trust me, one of the things that helped me have because I took a lot of courses back in school. Building, generally, you have to do a lot of courses. This is not science where you be having, 3 courses. You hear some science students, they'll tell you, I'm taking only 5 courses for this semester. What are you people doing in your course? What are you people studying? 12? Why now? And then you just like, God damn it. Sorry, congratulations to you that you are taking only 4 courses this semester. So one thing that helped me, because we have a lot of workload, is social media. Yeah, do your TikTok, but it came to a point where I did 100 MB per day. Yes, not like I can't afford a bigger data plan. But look, you people can bless my account so I can. But at that point in time, I could afford a bigger data plan, but I just did 100 MB per day. That way, I can caution myself. I was fasting social media, so to speak. So weeks before my exam, all I need to do is just to be able to access my class group chat. I think that's the only important group chat, and probably, ChatGPT and everything. 100 MB is actually enough. Unless you're opening status, that is when 100 MB is not enough, or probably you're downloading a huge PDF. But that helped me, caution myself. There's no need to open Instagram. There's no need to watch that reel. Because all of those outside noises, by the time you want to concentrate, your head go down full. Your head go down full. So for me, that also helped me, reduce the stress on myself. So that way I have, fewer thoughts, fewer things to even think about. Yes, my sleep was actual sleep, not sleep where those sleeps where you are partly awake and partly asleep. Yeah, that type of sleep. And also, um, you can get stressed by. I know this might sound, like how, but you can get stressed by, like I mentioned, talking too much. Talking too much, even you might, yeah, talking too much in the sense of just unnecessary talk. You can't even retain knowledge. Some people, have that conception of, oh yeah, you should not cram, you should not, my dear, cram. Cram, cram it. Let those CG formulas, let them stick. I think one of those things that helped me back in school was those CG formulas. I will write it every morning. At least today, Monday, I'll write it. I'll copy and paste. When Tuesday, I'll copy and paste. Wednesday, I'll copy and paste. By the time I reach Thursday, at least 3 formulas for don't stay for my head. Nothing. At least the first 3 I would have known. And this thing just takes you 15 minutes to just sit down and do. So it doesn't have to be you. Once you already know your steps and processes to get the answers, cram, like let the formula stay permanent, so you can worry about other things. And while I said talking too much helps you don't retain much. There's talk and then there's talk. You know how you can avoid that whining in the studio, that everybody will whine you for like 15 minutes, and then at the end of the day you're like, wow, okay, what did I learn before I left the hostel? Those thoughts that you're trying to connect all over again. Oh, that diagram. Like everything has, you can just avoid settings that would stress your head, too much gist, too much. And then for the ladies, reduce your toasters. You know how to reduce your toasters. You know the right things to do. Yes, reduce the stress when you're like, I can remember when I was in year 1 or 2, I always told boys that approach me that I don't pick calls after 10 p.m. Please don't call me. You want to check up on me, please. Thanks and God bless. After 10 p.m., your small checkup or whatever you want to do, please just don't call me. Don't call me. I would not pick. So set boundaries. Ugo, please, is my time up? Sorry, Ugo, I would like to know how many minutes I have
Yes,
more.
yes. Let's just say you have about 3 minutes left.
3 minutes. Okay, so in wrapping up, I would also like to mention this having a support system. I feel like all that we've said about stress and burnout would not be possible without a solid support system. Your support system can be your mom, it can be your sister, it can be your classmates. I can remember back in school, I had a classmate, his name is Rakib. Yes, I'm sure most of you will know him. And he was the previous president of the National Association of Building Students. I didn't know till I graduated. Till right now, I don't know how to calculate my GPA, but somebody is checking my results for me. Somebody is looking out for me. Someone I actually proper dropped out year 4 first semester. I told him I'm not doing again. After Professor Edoro shot me anyhow. I'm not doing again. No, like I literally sat at this reception with Rakib and I actually cried out like I'm not doing anything again. Everybody should leave me alone. Let me go and find business where I go to. His last task I should open shop and be selling provisions. At least I'll still make money. Abi. The same money that I want to be making inside this career of a thing, we still make it if you open provision shop and yeah, at least telling one or two. So I already dropped out in my head, but someone told me to keep going. Someone pushed me. Someone stood there with me. Someone encouraged me all along the way. Someone who could relate to my struggles. I don't think I carried Rocky's academic matter the way he carried my own academic matter. He carried me like crazy. So have that support system. And trust me, the support system doesn't just come at a day. You cannot just meet one friend and be like, oh yes, I'm going to, we built that relationship over the years. So yeah, and make sure you pray, guys. Pray against stress. Tell God to direct you, tell God to guide you, tell God to help you. Yes. Be it Mesa, make sure you join Mesa. Don't come to university and start forming, oh, I don't need God. You need God like everything. Have a community, have a good support system. And it's my prayer that God helps us all and sees us through it. Thank you so much, Ugoma. Thank you so much, the entire Naob's executives. Thank you so much for having me today. I count it a privilege.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
so
much.
much,
I didn't
Ruby.
overshoot my time. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, our gorgeous graduates. So like this, please more reactions, more hearts, more flowers. Thank you so much, Ruby. It was so nice hearing. We initially heard about burnout and stress from the medical perspective. Actually hearing it from an actual beauty student, not anymore anyway, but like somebody who went through the system, like we are in, the system that we are in right now. And you've experienced these things firsthand. And the practical tips you gave us, we really, really appreciate you. I cannot thank you enough. Thank you so, 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 so much. God bless you. So moving on to our panel session. So we had a panel conversation, we sent out a form. We sent out a form a couple days ago where we asked, the students to share their concerns and whatever questions they want both of you to shed more light on. And I pulled out some, I kind of did like mix and match. So I merged some similar ones together and then separated ones that are quite different. So we'll be answering a couple of questions now. So I'm just going to ask the questions and whoever speaks first, between Dr. Onyade and Bolupe, either of you can answer, or I can just call either of you to answer. If the question is going to be related to, some of the things you've said before. So the first one is, so first of all, multiple people just wrote mental health in the form that they had issues with their mental health. Some people did not really, shed more light on that. And one person said, send help before I lose it completely. Right. So it just goes to show that some of us are really struggling. So for students who feel like they are at their breaking point, what should they do? And when do you know it's time to seek help? So I think I want Dr. Onyade to answer this particular one, especially for the person that said or says, send help before I lose it completely. So Dr. Onyade, can you please, answer this question?
Thank you so much. Okay, sorry, I didn't get the beginning of the question. So for students who
Okay, so let me go again. So for students who feel like breaking points, right? Like the person I gave the instance, person said, send help before I lose it completely. So when do you know it's time to seek help? What should you do when you feel like you're at your breaking point? So that's the question now.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, so I think first things first, is even good that you can recognize that you are at your breaking point, because many people, they will just keep going and keep going and keep going without stopping. Now, what do you do when you are at your breaking point? First things first, you need to take a step back I know that there might be deadlines, there might be things that you need to do, but first things first, you need to calm down. You need to calm down. You need to sit and reflect. You need to take your hands off the stress. If you can permit yourself 24 hours, even if it is not up to 24 hours, permit yourself 8 hours. Now, if you know that you can't even manage that, talk to somebody, not necessarily professional help. I think first I would even like to commend Bolupe for the session. I loved it because it was very, very relatable. Like I understand she's an alumni and it was very, very relatable. So first things first, we need to take a step back, understand that okay, you're already exhausted. Pray about it. She mentioned something like that, that many times what you need to do, you also need to pray about it. Take a step back, pray about it. Seek for help. You have a community of people, you have classmates, you have people that can relate with what you're going through. Talk to them. Talk to them. They can find a way to help you. Prioritize self care. Also, gratitude. I think these are some of the things that we've talked about in preventing burnout and also in managing burnout. Prioritize gratitude. All of these things are very important. So before you lose it, or when you realize that you are about to lose it, you need to take a step back. Prioritize your health. Shift your perspective. Understand that you matter. Try as much as possible to reduce stressors. I really love the way she said that when you talk too much, it actually adds to stress. I totally agree 100%. When, I don't know, but some people really enjoy it, but it is stressful. It stresses themselves, like it stresses them. It also stresses the people around them that are listening to the chatter. So sometimes you just need to calm down, reduce the stressors. So if you know you need to avoid such people that talk so much, then you should seek support, create the recovery plan. I mentioned that before, that your recovery plan can be for about 1 week, it can be for a month. Now, it could be anything, it could be maybe daily, write something that you are grateful for. Daily, make sure you eat a fruit and drink enough water. Daily, make sure you eat healthy. Daily, make sure you do something that makes you laugh, or you have people around you that will make you laugh. So whatever works for you, but first things first, recognize it and prioritize yourself. Take your hands off the work, the stress and everything. Just give yourself some time. Think that will be all for me. Thank you, Goma.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Dr. Yadi. I think out of everything you said, my favorite thing that I love, like all the tips you gave us, is the recovery plan. And I'm going to go and come up with one now. Recovery plan. I think it's very necessary that we have a recovery plan. So please, guys, go and start putting together your recovery plan. So my next question is to Bolupe. It says, for students juggling part-time work or side hustles while in building, how do you manage both without burning out? And there's also another question that says deadlines. Because deadlines came up multiple times, and it's something that we all relate to. This assignment is due, this project's work is due, you have this deliverable to turn in. And so some of the students are asking, how do you actually manage constant deadlines and a heavy workload without falling apart? So we are addressing, having multiple things to do at once aside school and still excelling in school. And I also have like doing all that and also having deadlines, like dealing with deadlines. You mentioned prioritization, which I think is key, but like how do we actually manage these deadlines and our side hustles and the heavy workload without falling apart? Yes. So over to you, Bulupi.
All right, thank you so much, Ugoma. Thank you so much for that question. So the first question was to part-time work. I can remember back when I was in 300 level. I think that was the only semester where I actually had a job in school. Why I took the job, it was part of this awesome. Everybody, I wanted to be independent, so to speak. Yes. So I took on this job. It was a hybrid job at Ikeja physically, and then I had to show up a few days in a week for the job, and then also I had school from CG class. I would come to gate, enter bus to Jibo, from Jibo to Ikeja, come back again, and to my surprise, that entire semester where I had a part-time job with school, I had a 4.7, and I was like, wait, me 4.7? How? I was so surprised that semester. But one thing that helped, that looking back right now, one thing that helped was, having a structure. Time management is key. That particular same semester, I think I had my younger sister coming to school, and because of, I don't know, my own health is quite unique and peculiar. I can't eat as much outside because I have allergies, reactions. Then I'm using crazy antibiotics and all of that. So I had to, cook for my younger sister that is new in school. I will make her breakfast, I will make her dinner, and I'll take it to our hostel. And I also had a part-time job, and it was my 300 level, the crazy 300 level first semester. So I think like having time management, mastering time management helps a lot. You know the time you should be up in the morning. You know the time you should be outside. You know the time, you know, the time for your class is probably, if it is 12 to 2, let it remain 12 to 2. You shouldn't be if you have a crazy work, if you have like work and school, there's no reason why you should have a class from 12 to 2 and you haven't left the faculty by 2. You should not be the one hanging around. That small 30-minute snap, go back to your hostel and go and take it. It's going to come in handy in the next evening. So don't loiter around. Know exactly what you spend your time on. Know what you meditate on as well. And then don't spend so much time thinking down yourself. Don't spend so much time thinking that, I'm so busy this semester. Oh my, I'm going to fail. I'm so busy this semester. Oh my, hey, these people, look at, you are comparing yourself to the next person that doesn't have a job, that is, and I want to, don't think too much. Just do it. Just do it. Don't overthink it. Just do it, and you'll be fine. And to the second, yeah, also, whatever comes out, in case you fail, you pass. Hold it with your full chest that yes, okay, what about we that can't sleep for 30 minutes? It's a nap. It's not for you to sleep. It's just for you don't necessarily have to sleep deep. It's just for your head to rest. Don't do anything. Don't press phone. Don't stay at screen. Just just rest. Can't you, Jay-Z, why can't your hand? You know that thing when we're younger, the punishment, they will just tell us to go and sit down at, I think it's called naughty corner. Just stay there. Calm down. So even you as an adult, have your own naughty corner. Don't do anything. Just lie down on your bed, stare at the ceiling, keep your brain empty, close all the tabs in your brain. That in itself is enough, reset, and helps you focus when you need to focus. And speaking to the next question, constant deadlines, I think I'll answer this from a different perspective. Who is your course rep? If your class rep does not know how to cook, tell him to go for Ida Bass's cooking competition or say no cooking school. You cannot just be giving us everything and we to be taking a course rep to be smiling at everybody to no. Tell your course rep to enter the kitchen, sir. Excuse me, sir. Please, sir. We already have like 4 things that we're doing. Please, sir, can we shift this thing to this thing? There were times in my class that, we would actually gaslight the lecturers. Everybody would say we never received an assignment and we never received it from anything. Did you hear anything? I did not hear anything. Sorry. As long as your course, so yeah, building comes with its own. I know there are some peculiar lecturers you can do this with. The core courses that For example, CG assignments, Dr. Farami's assignments. Those ones. But the other softer lecturers, you're a university student, have a conversation. Tell your class rep to cook, and you'll be fine. I guess that's it.
Thank you so much for that lovely answer. Please, if you're a course rep on this call, in this call, go for Ilabasi's, classes. Go and learn how to cook. Not live per se, but experience. You cannot just be giving us everything like Bolupe said. I will be taking it, right? Thank you so much, Bolupe. Our next question is, I think this one is very important to me as well. 44% of like the responses we got most of them said they sacrificed sleep, or in the past month they've sacrificed sleep. And we all know sleep is important. But how do you actually prioritize sleep when deadlines don't stop? I think that is going to go to Dr. Onyade. Can you please help us, break this down? Right? Because sometimes it feels like there's so much to do, but we can't sleep. How do we prioritize sleep? Because sleep is important for our health.
Okay. Thank you very much for that question. So, deadlines never stop. Your body keeps working. Your mind keeps working. But how do you now want to prioritize sleep? I think it all boils down to time management. Now, as much as you can, you know the things that you should do in a day. You know when you need to, meet up with your deadlines. You know how the things you need to do in order to submit your assignments. You've broken down those things you want to do into smaller steps. So it is important that you manage your time properly such that there would always be time for rest. Now, many times you might not get 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Of course, many times you might not get that. That is too much. But if you can manage your time well, you can get to sleep, and don't use your time that you're supposed to sleep to be, scrolling through social media or spending it on TikTok, because that even stresses you even more. Now, it is always recommended that about 30 minutes to 1 hour before you sleep, you should stay off screens. It is always recommended. So as much as possible, you want to make sure you're managing your time well. You want to make sure that you're creating time for rest intentionally and staying off screens before you sleep. So that the time you are sleeping, by the time you wake up from sleep, you're actually refreshed. You are re-energized. You are, you know that, oh, you're ready for more and you have actually rested well. Not that you stressed yourself, you watched movie till you fell asleep, then you wake up and you're still stressed because you're probably dreaming of the movie that you watched. So many times we just need to manage our time properly and we'll be able to create time for rest. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. When you said that some of us will be scrolling on our phones, that's me when you were to me correctly. But I will try to do better. Thank you so much. So our final question for the day is, or for the panel conversation, is going to Bolupe, and it's going to be like a 3 in 1. So 28% of us mentioned that we struggle with perfectionism, right? We don't know when to stop refining and just submit. And you know that is like very time wasting. So how do you let go of being perfect? Or is it a normal thing, right? Is it not a problem? And then the next one is the comparison trap. 66% of us said that our grades and comparison are major stressors. Sorry. How do we stop comparing ourselves to our classmates, right? We know that there's no first position, there's no second position, but most times we can't help ourselves. So how do we, how do we stop comparing ourselves basically? And also how do we prevent perfectionism that, that's our life, basically. Thank you so much, Lucy.
Thank you so much for that question. So the first one, speaking to perfectionism, I think in itself it's a good thing, and it also has its own flaws, making you scared, insecure when things are not perfect as you might want them to be. I think it's not a bad thing, but being perfect and being, would I say, what's the word? That's how you can submit an assignment and you know that some necessary, you know, um, checks. For example, if they ask you to write on, how to construct. No, I don't think that's it. I think that's vague. I don't know if somebody can give me something. Let me just say it this way: there are some necessary things that you need to check out, just so that assignment goes, through the door. You don't necessarily have to, have, like I mentioned, getting your assignments done, let's say like 2 days before the actual deadline. That 2 days before the actual deadline, you know that you've touched on important things, key things that need to be checked out inside the assignment. So that buffer time gives you room not to even stay. It doesn't need your full attention but you can as well, touch a bit, just add one comma, or, oh, this place, the font size, let me change it. Those little, little things that, pop up in our head. You have enough time to, at least cater to those things. But one thing that happens over here in the university is that sometimes the lecturers don't even check those assignments, my dear. Yeah, they don't check those assignments. They don't see the effort you've put into it, because this is a federal university and you need to understand how the system works. So understanding how the system works is ensure that the necessary things are checked. Okay, probably this assignment I should, add diagrams to it, or this is the definition, explanation, formula. The lecturer might just want to see the formula. I might not need you adding a diagram. So just having those key things checked out, and then also pray to God, because sometimes the thing of the psychology thing, the psychology things, just so it doesn't mess up your head too far and your GP along the way. So yeah, I think that would be my answer for that. And then for the comparison thing, I think we all go through this at different points in our life, something we struggle with as humans. And I identify with that, in several ways, in many, many ways. But it's I would answer this question from another point of view. What is your purpose? Why were you created? Why are you here on earth? Why do you think you just, popped out of your mother's womb? Someone thought of you. And clearly, in thinking of you, it definitely has a plan for you. So trusting that plan, trusting that, like a child, that no matter how you fall, your mother is going to catch you. You know that within you. Be sure of why you are here on earth. Be sure of your purpose. It's really, really important. That way you do not. Yes, these pressures will come at several points. You compare yourself with the classmates, with your classmates, and at some point you will graduate to, when you are done with school, you compare yourself with your fellow career people. You compare your family to someone else's family. So it's a huge dynamic in itself. But understanding your purpose over here in life, it just makes things a lot easier for you. And even in school, there's that thing of, I struggled with one particular thought in my final year, especially. Not even my final year. I think it was after I graduated. You know, yes, scholar, yes, scholar. How much is in my bank account? The guy that is on third classes has, like, how many zeros in his account, and I'm like, God, why didn't I just start hustling from the get go? Why am I not that guy? Why am I not this? Why am I not that? But really, God just helped me to route my thoughts back to, there's no traffic in your lane. Someone is thinking of you. God can never mismanage your life. God can never, as in, is very, 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 very extremely intentional about you, and you are important to God. You are very, very important to God. Just know it and let go. No matter how your life goes, know that you're in his hands. There's never really a hard and fast way to deal with comparison, because it comes at different points. It can be at, different, the most foolish things, if that you shouldn't even be comparing, when whereas you are actually better. You're actually better. You see people with different problems. The worst type of problems some people have is like health, and I'm glad we have a doctor over here. You see people, you might be comparing yourself with Dangote's son, and who knows, you might even have a health condition that, no matter how much money you want to put into the thing, it's not gonna go. But you just feel like you are at a lesser position in life, which is wrong. Don't do it. Every time that thought comes, because you can run away with it and leave this meeting and be like, oh yes, God is thinking of me, oh yes. Constantly remind yourself, keep it before your eyes, God can never mismanage my life. So come the A's, come the B's, come the C's, come the F, in fact, come what me, I'm in God's hands. I'll put in my efforts, be honest while at it, but God's plan is the best for my life, and nothing they move me from here. So I think that's my answer to that.
Thank you so much, Olupe. Thank you so much. There's no traffic in my lane. No. I'm doing my own self-affirmation now. There's no traffic in my lane. There's no traffic in your lane. So stop comparing yourself with, the rest of your classmates or the rest of your peers, right? It's very easy to just say, oh my God, where am I? My friends are doing this. My friend just got this internship. My friend just got this opportunity. And here I am, right? But then, like Bolupe advised, that God can never mismanage your life. You are right where you're supposed to be. You're doing just fine. Please let's learn to give ourselves more grace. Thank you so much, Bolupe. So I think that brings us to the end of our panel conversation. It was such a thought-provoking one. Thank you so much for answering our questions in the best way possible. Our lovely speakers, we're so grateful. I don't know if there's anybody having like any questions before we move on to the agenda of the next agenda for the day. If you have any question, just like use the raise hand feature. If not, we are going to be moving to the next thing on our agenda. Okay, I can't see any questions. So we are rounding up. They're rounding up. So we have a special announcement to make, you guys. Drum rolls, please. What is drum rolls? Okay, before we move on, there's the journey to balance. Like we've learned, we have awareness, we have make small changes, have better routines, and that will, create a sustainable balance for you. Yes, I hope you all took notes. So, like I said, drum rolls. I think the drum rolls here. Look, excited. I'm so excited. So, yes, we have something now. The National Association of Beauty Students has exciting news. So, on behalf of the NAOBS welfare, team and the NAOBS executives as a whole, right? We are excited to bring you a partnership with Mani. Mani is a mentally aware, or Mani means mentally aware Nigeria initiative, right? It's a prominent organization that is dedicated to addressing mental health challenges in Nigeria. It is the largest provider of crisis support services in the country with a focus on youth and mental health advocacy. The organization also provides mental health education programs to schools and workplaces, aiming to integrate evidence-based practices and policy advocacy, right? So they are committed to creating an environment where individuals can seek care for their mental health without fear of discrimination. So the workshop is this workshop, Balance and Build, is just one part, right? It's one segment of a bigger initiative that we, the executives, have for you, that we're launching to support the mental wellness of the building students, right? They're not just doing this event to balance and build, and we're not just leaving you, we're leaving something more sustainable, which is the Money hotline, right? You can reach out to them anytime you're struggling. They are offering us, the NAOB students or the building students, 24/7 free and confidential support for various mental health issues, including anxiety, depression, burnout, suicide prevention, whatever it is that you're struggling with. If you feel like your friends are not giving you enough advice, people are not giving you enough advice, you can speak to professionals who will support you, who will guide you with no judgment, right? We just care. And your well-being matters. I want to remind us every day that our well-being matters. You do not have to go through anything alone, you guys. Don't have to go through anything alone. So please, we are not leaving you alone. Like I said, you can reach out to Mani. And if you have more questions as regards like Mani or how you can contact them, you can see more on the screen. But if you have more questions, please reach out to the executive members. So on to the next agenda of the day. So I'm going to be leaving us with, let's just do a quick activity before we leave. We are leaving right now. So we have things that you can try this week. We've learned so much from today's session. They've given us so many advices, so many things that I hope and pray that we are going to, try some habits that I hope we're going to cultivate. So we have eat at least one proper meal daily. B is sleep 6+ hours on some nights. C is, start one task earlier than usual. D is ask for help instead of struggling alone. And E is take one food break without guilt. So which of these are you going to be trying this week? So don't, push yourself too hard. So I'm also going to be, typing in my response. eat at least one proper meal daily. I'm going to go to the Amoria. My mommy has been begging me to eat swallow, so I'm going to go to the Amoria this week. Um, and I'll try to sleep, 6 plus hours and some nights. Only peace. Where are the rest of us? What are you going to do this week? What are you doing differently? What new habits are you going to try? Are you going to try to cultivate to ensure that your well-being is perfect, or even though not perfect, it's on the way to being perfect, right? Are you going to start your tasks earlier than you're supposed to do them? When they give you a task, are you going to do it that same day? I'm going to be doing and are you going to ask for help instead of struggling alone, which is something we strongly advise the students to do. Don't suffer alone. Right, we are here to help you. If your friends and family, if you feel like you can't talk to them, maybe you need like more neutral grounds, please reach out to us. We are here. We're not just helping you become a better beauty student professionally. We care about you, right? We care about you so much. We love you so much. And we're always here to listen. Make sure you take breaks. Make sure you sleep well. It's hard, but prioritize your health, guys, please. And also, you don't have to do all of these. One is enough. One is enough. So yes, thank you so much. We are coming to like the end of balance and build. And we are right on time. Yeah, I even back yourself. So we did so well with like our time management today. Thank you so much for being a part of Balance and Build. Thank you to our lovely speakers, Dr. Nyade and Polupe, for sharing your time, for sharing your knowledge, for sharing your stories with us. We are so grateful. You both showed up I don't know, I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for being here with us. And thank you to everyone who joined today. I know Fridays Saturdays are busy, right? We had such a long week. You want to rest, but then you are here to, listen and to just build a better version of yourself. Thank you for showing up for yourself. We love you. I love you. Your vice president loves you. Naobs loves you. We want nothing but the best for you. Thank you so much for joining. And yes, that brings us to the end of Balance and Build. Please, for our next steps, make sure you follow us follow Naobs in Lab Chapter on all our social media platforms, on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on LinkedIn. Right, and I'm going to be sending out a feedback form to the different group chats, to the NALBS official group chat, to our class group chats. Make sure you fill out the form. Let us know what worked, what you liked about the session, what you didn't like, what you think would have been better, if I done things a certain way. Please let us know. Your feedback means a lot to us, and also will help us, in like the events that we'll be bringing up soon. And most importantly, make sure you use the resources. Our speakers shared so much with us, the strategies, the advices, the tips. Please, let's make use of them. And the hotline as well, the money hotline is here for you. So please utilize that as well. Don't let this just be another workshop you attended. Actually apply some of these things, that we've learned. So that's it for me, guys. Take care of yourselves. I love you. I'm sending you so many hearts. Thank you so much. Take care of yourself. Take care of your mental health. Support your classmates. Support your friends. Always ask questions. How are you? And all that. And remember, you never have to do this alone. Naobs has your back always. Thank you all. See you next time.
You